RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you right now, this man right here is going to be under immense pressure to deliver this upcoming season. It's about to go down. Number one, RJ Barrett, no, he was about to be the centerpiece in the deal between Donovan Mitchell and whoever else was going to be a part of it with the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks made a key decision not to move in the direction of pulling that trigger. And I'm telling you, these young guys were the reason why. And I'm telling you, this guy was one of the main reasons. So I'm thoroughly expecting, RJ Barrett to bring it. He's going to have the pressure of New York City on his shoulders, because if he starts to struggle a little bit, people are going to look at it like, damn, we should have let go of RJ. We should, because right now New York has embraced RJ. He's got our faith. We want him to succeed. Now he's got to deliver. It's time for him to achieve all-star status, ladies and gentlemen, and get to the height that we all know he can become. It is so many variables to why the pressure will be on RJ. That is just one for them not moving him when the Knicks was trying to bury the fact that his name was brought up. RJ was was one of the main pieces of this deal. He was going to be moved to Utah. Don't make no mistake about that situation. The Knicks trying not to report that, but it was getting out. It was leaking. You have the return of Zion Williamson. You have Ja Morant. Mind you, these are the people that he was drafted with. That's top three right there. Zion, Ja, and RJ. They claim this was a three-person draft back in 2019. What's so crazy? Wednesday on the 19th, the New York Knicks are in Memphis to take on who? Ja Morant, the number 2 overall pick in the same draft. Let me tell you something. All of these guys are receiving all of these accolades. Ja Morant, all-star status, postseason. Even though he made the postseason, but he hasn't reached all-star status yet. Even though his stat lines is improving every single year, RJ is improving. I know that his problem is that he's not Ja Morant yet, or he's not Zion. So they claim, so they don't really show him the homage. But this is a 20-point per game scorer, shooting 40% from the field, 34% from the three, which I do believe will improve because he just got the work ethic and that mindset. Also 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Ja Morant, on the other hand, like I said, these dudes are just animals. We're not going to sit up here and discredit what Ja is doing. His second year, he averaged 19. He jumped it last season to 27. Led the Memphis Grizzlies to the second best seed in the Western Conference, which was definitely, intriguing. You gotta pay homage on that. That they were able to do that. The Memphis Grizzlies finished with a record of 56-26, even though RJ, he was in the postseason, not this season that passed, but the season before, and the Knicks were the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference, and he was looked at as the second best player on that team, after, Julius, because that's when Julius was having that all-star MVP-like caliber season. The Knicks, they brought in my man, Jalen Brunson. This kid, I think that Jalen Brunson is going to pay dividends for a guy like RJ. I think that Brunson is a guy that's going to be able to make the game a lot easier. Brunson is 6'1", but he played with Luka Doncic. He knows what it's like, even though RJ is no Luka. I'm not going to say that, but Jalen Brunson, this is the guy who's going to be playing in the backcourt with Ja Morant at 6. He has 16 points on 50% shooting from the field, 37% from 3. So RJ is going to be able to get pressure relieved off him. A guy like Brunson, he was in the playoffs with Dallas. He could take and make big shots. He could go to the free throw line and do things. I think RJ Barrett is going to be playing with the best point guard that he's played with so far, in terms of just, really in his prime, because Derrick Rose is there, but D Rose is more of that scorer, D Rose, this is that guy who's going to really be able to do good. I think he's going to be to up his assists as well. He was playing with Luka. That's why I feel like this guy's going to be able to get RJ easier shots. Look at the guards that RJ was playing with. I mean, you talking about Frank Ntilikina, all of these other fools that I really don't care to mention at the moment, but it's messed up, in terms of the people that RJ had to play with. And then when you look at the likes of where some of these other guys are, the talent that they're playing with, when you look at a Zion Williamson across with Zion, this guy Zion is playing with immense talent. When you discussing what's going on with Brandon Ingram, when you discussing what's going on with CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, this man is averaging 27 points per game on 61% from the field. Oh, and this is the return of Zion, and it's so crazy because back in Duke, when the season first started, RJ was like #1 ranked, and then out of nowhere, you seen Zion edge him. They was kind of like on a little friendly competition situation. Now you have the return of Zion coming back, which will be like taking up a lot of space for that draft class. So players like RJ, they're gonna have to bring it. Can they bring it? Can RJ Barrett match it? Because these dudes, listen, New Orleans is poised to have a serious run out there in the NBA this season. So the Knicks got to get back to the postseason because it's looking like Memphis is going to be back. New Orleans looking like they're going to squeak in there. The Knicks got to get back to the postseason because you cannot continue to see that these guys, continue to achieve success and you missing the postseason. You're not delivering. You may not even be the #1 option on your team. I think right now RJ Barrett moves more into that #1 option role for the New York Knicks. I think he knows what's at stake. And then it's going to be big problems, man. I think all-star status is going to be in his future, but he will be, listen, they will be ready to pummel this guy if he don't do well. This 6'6" guard in New York City is very unforgiving, but I believe that RJ can get it done. He can be the leader of the young core. RJ, it's time for RJ. If you can't be the captain of the New York Knicks, be the captain of the young core. When you got Quickly, Obi, Grimes. I think that RJ's got to be that young veteran, to really lead the guys in the positive direction in terms of getting back to the postseason because they're going to need it. They're going to need a leader, because who knows what you're going to get from Julius, because he's been regressing. Who knows what you're going to get. I know you don't expect Brunson to come in to be the leading scorer, so I think that RJ has to move more into that role or that #1 option, that closer, the guy they dump into and get the hell out the way. And I think he possesses all of those attributes. Now it's time to do it in New York City where he wanted to come. This is the place he wanted to be. He can handle the bright lights. I can see it. It's just he needs to develop. And the fact that he hasn't become a John Morant yet, he's not Zion. People really trying to lose faith in RJ Barrett. But RJ Barrett is a future all-star in this league, and it could happen as early as this season. So I leave it at that. Make no mistake about the situation. RJ Barrett will be under immense pressure to deliver the goods for the New York Knicks. Can he do it? That's the question. It's Flight Sports TV.